And we are here with episode 21 of the Wrasslin Roundtable podcast. I'm Ryan Hall, got Dominique LaRue joining us as always. And we're we're kind of hitting this point in the summertime where we've got kind of a backlog of really good shows coming up. And you and I were talking about before we started recording here that the all women's evolution pay-per-view or a premium live event um is looking like the card is looking really solid so far.
It is. And I don't know how other people feel about it, but I am more excited. I'm definitely more excited about that than I am excited about Saturday night main event, even though the ticket sales definitely are telltale of the difference between who's more excited for either PLE. But obviously the only reason why um Saturday night main event is leading in ticket sales is because you know who is a
Yeah,
hometown
because
hero.
because of the star power, but
Yeah.
yeah.
But it's a lot of star power in that like Evolution 2.0.
Yeah, no, there really is. There really is. And it's kind of unfortunate because like the entire script pretty much had to get ripped up when Liv Morgan got injured, which is really freaking sad because
Yeah.
apparently he was going to be a big piece of that show.
I feel like the women tag team match wasn't going to be a fatal four. I feel like it was probably going to be Liv and Raquel versus the Bella twins, to be honest.
Versus the Bella Twins. Yeah, maybe so.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I think the way they're going with it now, I love it. I mean, you get all four brands, um, excuse me, all three brands and the champs in a fatal four-way tag team match. That's pretty good. You get NXT Raw and SmackDown. And I mean, how many times have we been talking about I guess the quality of opponents for that particular belt?
I mean, you know, the the first match that is listed on this card is JC Jane and Jordan Grace for the NXT Championship.
Oh, they lean it off.
Yeah, apparently, yeah. I mean, it's the first match listed on at least on the Wikipedia page.
Oh, they got when is their and their pay-per-view this week? Or not pay-per-view, but Great American Bash is Tuesday, isn't it? Because they supposed to be fighting. They supposed to be fighting for the title, and whoever win that goes
Right.
on to fight um the lady at Evolution. So
Well, I
yeah,
mean, at least according to Wikipedia, and the reliable source of all the
yeah,
the font of human knowledge that is Wikipedia. It's JC and Jordan, but you know, be that as it may, the match, the card looks really good. Now, last Friday on SmackDown, we did get a reappearance from the great Trish Stratus.
yeah,
Um,
Hall of Famer.
yeah, Hall of Famer. She's gonna be for reasons passing logical understanding, she's going to be getting a title opportunity against Tiffany Stratton.
I just
Don't
uh,
understand. I don't understand. Again, Trish Stratus on the Mount Rushmore of women's wrestlers in the past 50 years. Why is she getting a title shot against Tiffany Stratton? Is it one of those situations where she can just snap her fingers and say, "Hey, I want a title shot"? Because she's been gone since what is it?
Elimination
Yeah,
Chamber.
Elimination Chamber. Yeah, back in the spring.
Yeah, of last year of that. No,
Yeah,
wasn't it last year?
yeah.
Yeah. Uh, I don't know why. I mean, obviously we do know why because it's a big name, Hall of Famer, and I mean she's paved the way for women's wrestling in WWE. But could have you done better? There's plenty of names that come to mind that could have faced Tiffany. Do I believe she wins the title like everybody else believes Goldberg winning the title? No. I mean, she has nothing to prove. Like her winning the title is just like, I guess, putting a name on the title and putting some type of more prestige on that title, but it does nothing. It hurts Tiffany more than it would help that title with Trish Stratus winning. I feel like could we get some interference or some shenanigans? Yeah. What would make sense would probably be Lita and maybe us getting a retirement match between both of them in a sense. I mean, it don't make any sense both of them to retire. You know, it being normally one person retiring and the person gets that, I guess, passing of the torch in a sense.
Right.
But I, you know, no offense to Tiffany, I am kind of over Tiffy time. Like I've never, I, I liked her in NXT. I see where she was going. I seen the projection, but the way they did it with her in the main roster and putting the title on her, and then with Charlotte coming back, and Charlotte even said it. Like Charlotte wants to be a babyface. Like she wants to,
I don't know why.
I mean, her personal life would have been perfect for her to become back as a babyface, but the way they spend it with her coming back was obviously as a heel with the whole vignettes and her being on the yacht and stuff like that. And like, we don't need all that. We know who she is. Like, she has a track record. We know who she is. She's the queen. She is Charlotte Flair. Her name alone don't need any of that. We knew she was out with an injury. We knew she was working back. If you would have did just her working out, the whole shebang you did with Cody Rhodes when he got in the Royal Rumble, it would have been different. But with the way they brought her back, the way they did her character, and then the godforsaken build up to the WrestleMania match between her and Tiffy, that was awful.
It was a mess. It was
Like, yeah, Tiffy beat Charlotte, but did it really build the credibility of Tiffy being a dominant champion? You know me, I don't like the backtrack. Like you beat Charlotte, then you turn around and go fight Nate, not Naomi, excuse me. You turn around and go fight Nia Jax again.
yeah.
Like once you, what happened to the old like when a rivalry, you if a rivalry is strong enough, yeah, you go back to the rivalry. But when the rivalry is not as strong, when you get done with it, it was like, ooh, thank God, now she got more. It was looking more like Naomi and then the Jade Cargill and possibly Oscar, or it was looking like that. But then now he comes out and I'm on my title match, and it's a street fight in Saudi Arabia, and it was just nothing. And I'm pretty much like she needs a restart. She needs a dusting off and just like going back to, as we say, the chaser. Chaser. She needs to chase that title again.
People need to fall back in love with her because NXT Tiffany Stratton was one of the hottest prospects, in the whole division. She could work. She had a great look. She had great presence on camera. She was the total package. But I kind of feel like they're kind of fumbling her on the main roster, and it's really sad because we need like newer challengers in that division. We need younger upstarts in that division to be able to become the next Becky Lynch or Charlotte Flair or Rhea Ripley or kind of on that level. I mean, hell, Rhea Ripley's not even 30 years old yet, but kind of on that star power level.
Yeah, me personally, like I don't know how soon it's coming, but we definitely need the draft to come back around
Oh,
because,
yes.
like, if you would have brought Stephanie up, right? You put on Raw. I rather would have put it on SmackDown. She was destined. She had that rocket on her back, looking like she was going to move up and just like be in the main event scene, just like that. Would we be mad about that? I doubt it
No,
because she had that it factor to her. Like every match felt special. Obviously the Devil's Kiss, everybody's looking forward to that. But like she earned that though.
she did. She got it.
And
She got it over.
she got it over, yes. And obviously Booker T helped with that.
Well,
But her in-ring,
to be fair, that's the commentator's job.
yes, but her in-ring work justified just over just that one move. Like everything she did in the ring was good. So I could have seen her go after the title versus Trish Stratus. Like, no disrespect to Trish, like we love her, but
Right.
I, it's that ick factor for me again with the kind of evolution because evolution one, we had to get the whole Ronda versus Nikki Bella, and I'm like, really though?
He said her name. God help us
Like
all.
you've been gone for I don't know how long, and then you come back and it's just like I want to fight Ronda, and I'm like, what?
Fine.
For what? What? Like you haven't fought anybody to put credibility on you being in that match with Ronda, and it was just basically y'all doing it for star power to get tickets. So like, oh look, we brought Nikki back, and look, we got Ronda in the match. So it's like, oh, we got the future in Tiffy, and we got the past in Trish, and that's a good uh The Rock versus Hogan again. Like what?
Yeah, but to your point, Evolution One did that a lot. Like they, brought back like, Candice Michelle and,
Oh yeah,
a
it was
lot
like
of
a whole
the
big
kind of like a
yeah,
lot of the like folks from that era, but
yeah.
also, bringing in a young Becky Lynch, a young Rhea Ripley, just like a young Sasha, just bringing in like that kind of like big time star power. And I would say, you know, Becky Lynch doesn't main event WrestleMania, against Charlotte and what's her face, she who shall not be named, um, without getting elevated like that.
Yeah. Now, my thought process in this match is that, like, God forbid it's sloppy, but maybe Lita interferes in that match, and you get an old time rivalry between her and Trish, and kind of like close that chapter in our lives where they finally get a retirement match between the two. Or do we get
Possibly,
a
no, no,
return?
I don't hate that. Yeah,
Yeah. Do we get a return from Paige? Possibly. You know?
she's been being super cagey about this online.
Yeah. I mean, because like that'd be a good retirement match. Paige versus Trish. Like,
Right.
who really started the whole women's revolution? Like, yes, Trish, you started the revolution of like maybe taking women more serious in matches, but Paige really took it off for like, she came in, she like it was still kind of that diva aspect of it all, but people started to look at the women as superstars. Like it was
Let
only like, maybe a handful of people, AJ Lee and her and other wrestlers.
let to play devil's advocate here.
Okay.
You remember when Trish first started?
Yep.
She could not. She couldn't do a wrist lock. She couldn't work to save her life.
She was
But
basically a manager.
she got exactly. She was, she was a valet. She was a manager,
Yeah.
but she got good. She worked
Yeah.
on. She worked her ass off, and she got better and became a Hall of Famer.
Absolutely.
Um, Maxine Dupree. you know the assignment, darling.
She's working. She's working.
You know,
She's
she
working with
is.
that.
No, she
She's
is.
working with
Yeah.
the boat, as she says.
Yeah, exactly. Um, but you know, this could really be it's like Evolution 1 was not just about the old stars. It was about making new ones.
Showcasing the young and new.
Exactly. And
Yes.
a lot of the women stars today really kind of started to cut their teeth in that era.
Then we had the don't get me wrong. Then we had the Mia Young, or not Mia Young. It was the tournament. When it the final match of that tournament in Evolution 1, Mae Young Classic.
Mae Young, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, if I'm
Let
not
me
mistaken. Which I wish they'd bring that back. I don't know why they ever took it away, but
all right. So just for where are we? Matches. All right. So dig this, right?
okay.
Your first match, your leadoff match, was Rhea Ripley, Dakota Kai.
Wow.
This is in 2018 now.
Right.
Rhea Ripley, Dakota Kai for the UK Women's Championship, NXT UK Women's Championship. And then you had second match was Trish and Lita against Mickey James and Alicia Fox.
Wow. Talk about nostalgia.
No kidding. All right. Nia Jax won a battle royal, which sounds like they're doing something similar to it, this
Yep.
year. You're gonna love this one. In the finals of the 2018 Mae Young Classic, Tony Storm defeated Io Shirai
I remember that
before they
match
changed her name to Io Sky.
before they changed the name to Io Sky. Yep.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? Like they need to bring that back. Like there
Uh,
was a
and,
lot of
uh,
stars in
yeah,
that
no,
tournament.
absolutely. And of course, to be fair, Tony Storm didn't make her bones in WWE, but he got
No,
her
no, no.
start.
Yeah, they did. They did it dirty in WWE for sure.
Yeah, no, they did big time. And then next, it was a 6 women tag team match. Sasha, Bailey, and Natalia beat the Riot Squad, Ruby Riot, Liv Morgan, and Sarah Logan.
One of those people out of the Riot Squad became a big star.
Yeah.
About the other two.
Of
Yeah.
all people.
Of all people, yes.
All right. Next was Shayna Baszler defeating Kairi Sane.
Wow.
Shayna Baszler ain't even with the company anymore.
Nope.
All right. Then you had a last woman standing match between Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair.
Those two are back at it.
Yep.
Evolution. But
Which
then fighting.
which should have been the main event of that show.
Yeah, last woman standing match. Yeah, that definitely should be.
Yeah. For for the SmackDown Championship.
Yeah, to let it give it
And
more air to breathe.
yeah, but of course you had Ronda Rousey defeating Nikki Bella in the main event.
Oh, and then the main event. They could have started off the show. All I cared. But
What are you gonna do? But
yeah,
yeah, but my point is that you've got a real opportunity to really make some huge stars. Tony Storm is a prime example of that.
absolutely. Absolutely. Like everybody you named, obviously some have left the company and went on to be bigger stars,
Sure.
or
But
some have
they're but
not
they're
been with the company.
stars.
But they're stars, yes. Like
Yeah.
everybody in that list is way more stars than it is flops.
Exactly.
So, and that's another reason why you should have a PLE like this to showcase the women because you don't give them enough time on the main roster, obviously with other storylines, whatever. But like we was talking about in a previous episode, like with the women tag team titles. Obviously, these titles are prompts, right?
Right.
But they mean something. Like to us, those props are meaningful. You know, they are the reason why you get more TV time. They are the reason why most are. It's a promotion basically to some of these superstars. So, like with this PLE, if you're getting put on this PLE, that it means they're putting a rocket on your back to showcase you and to put your name in more household TVs because they
Yeah.
feel like you're a household name now. Like you basically should be. In which obviously Bianca would be in one of these matches, but she's out with an injury, so
So, Liv, same difference.
the little same. Yeah, I mean she's looking like she was about the main event the thing, but luckily with the matches we're getting so far, we're getting Rhea versus Io Sky. That's
Hmm.
gonna be a banger. We're getting the Fatal Four for the women tag team titles.
Yep.
That has the potential to be a banger. Well, we're getting, like you said, Trish versus Tiff. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. It's not gonna be a banger, but it's gonna be worth the watch, I believe.
Yeah.
Feel like we're going to get something that give us a odd factor involved. Like, somebody makes a grand return, somebody whatever. And then we're finally, which was crazy because I think we mentioned this in episode 19, perhaps. But the triple threat, did we not call this? We may be a PLE a little too soon, but
No,
we
no,
called this
definitely too
match.
soon. Yeah.
Yeah, we called this match for SummerSlam, but they're pulling it at Evolution. So the triple threat between Becky, Bailey, and
And Lara.
Raquel.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lara Raquel. So
Do you think there's too much money in that match not to have something at SummerSlam? Do you think they could continue this program? Do you think they can book the match in a way that they can continue that program to SummerSlam?
it's tough. That's tough because the only way you do it if Becky somehow managed to weasel her way out of that match with the belt. Now, if Bailey was to win that belt, that's another way you can build up to it because now Bailey has the belt. And do she do some slimy stuff to Lara to pull off the win? Possibly. And then
Mhm.
that puts more heat on their rivalry, but then you still got the rivalry between her and Becky and Lyra. So you kind of like can mold that into moving forward, going into SummerSlam. But like you said, it's still meat on the bone to possibly continue on to SummerSlam.
I think they got to figure out a way because there's way too much money in that match, not for it not to happen on that big a platform.
Yes, absolutely.
They got to figure
Um,
out a way. Yeah, they
could
definitely
you
got to figure out a way.
could you add a fourth into this rivalry to make it a fatal four for SummerSlam?
Who would you put in?
Hmm, that's a good question. I mean, Becky's already a Grand Slam champion with the addition to the Intercontinental title. If Bailey wins, she'll be a Grand Slam champion. I mean, they already are a Grand Slam champion, but the little nugget of the Intercontinental title. Uh, It's really nobody I could think of right off the top of my head. And I can't think of anybody that has like a rivalry between Bailey or Becky or Lowry in that instant.
Yeah.
Mm,
You know, just a random thought about that is
yeah.
that you could, um, that could be a way to get Stephanie Vaquer into like into a higher level because is she like world championship level yet? Her work, absolutely. Her heat, I'm not sure.
But you know, with you saying that, I see her winning the battle royal because you win that, then you get a title shot at
Yeah,
Clash in Berlin or
Paris.
Paris? Yes.
Paris.
So I feel like she'll probably win that battle royal.
I can definitely buy that. I can definitely
Then,
buy that. Yeah.
but then she wins that. Then who do you have her? See now, oh my God, now it's like if she wins that, then who does she face? Because it's like obviously Tiffany is going to win, but then we get to SummerSlam, or do we even get to SummerSlam? Do she get cashed in on that night? And then we have Naomi with the belt. But um, I love Io Sky, but I feel like Rhea's probably going to win that belt back.
Agreed.
And I mean that that is instant money right there with Stephanie and Rhea. Like that's just instant money right there.
Yeah, that no, that's a mint right there.
I mean, she did put Rhea in that devil's kissing on the ladder at that. So
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure Rhea want to get that get back.
Yeah, they've already got a little heat building.
Yeah. So
I like where your head's at on that.
either way, it don't matter which one got the title. It's gonna be some heat behind Stephanie. Like fans are definitely gonna want
No,
to see
no doubt.
Stephanie in that match.
No
So
doubt, because it's obvious that they've got a ton of faith in both her and Julia.
absolutely.
I mean,
I mean, you
Julia's
just don't
already
push.
hell, Julia's already US champion.
Yeah, you just don't push a superstar to work three different events. Well, I mean, SmackDown, but you don't push somebody to push two PLEs in the same day in the same. She had to work a tag match, and then 3 hours later be in a darn ladder match. So
Right. And then work Raw the next day.
and then work, yeah. So
And
she pretty much
yeah,
worked four events within what 3 day span, 4 day span.
yeah. They've,
So
no, I mean, again, they've got a lot of faith in her already. They've got a lot of faith in Julia. They've got a lot of faith in Roxanne too.
they do, they definitely do.
Yeah.
But well earned because all of them women can definitely go,
Oh,
and they have
absolutely.
proved it. So
Absolutely. I certainly see I see huge things for all three of them.
yeah.
Yeah.
At first, I
Um,
I didn't with Julia, but then I watched her match, like recent matches, and I'm like, oh, okay, I see.
yeah, yes. Watch some of her videos from Japan. She's the truth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm sorry for Zelina Vega, but it was time for
Yeah.
not be used champion no more.
That
When you keep feuding with Candice Green, was it Candice Green? I don't know. Chelsea Green. Sorry.
yeah, Chelsea. Yeah.
Chelsea Green. When you keep feuding with her and her bodyguards, yeah, it looks like that title's definitely coming off your hands pretty soon. If they can't find nobody else for you to fight.
Yeah, it's kind of sad too, because I mean, I love Selena. I
Yeah,
love
we
Selena,
both.
but it's not exactly setting the world on fire with her in ring right now.
Nah, I mean, there's so many other people she could have worked with. Like, B-Fab and all them, like, they ain't even got a title shot against you. And obviously they already had plans for that title to be moved elsewhere. So
Exactly. Exactly. It's kind of funny. We spent over 30 minutes talking about Evolution and we hadn't even looked at Saturday night's main event yet. And I think that kind of proves just how blah this entire show looks to be. Because they've only got three matches announced, including the one that I really don't want to talk about. Um, but I mean, you've got you know, like Seth Rollins and LA Knight.
right.
That could be a bang. I can't lie. That could be a really solid
Oh
match.
yeah, with CM Punk uh, overshadowing that match because he's going to get in that match.
No,
Like
absolutely.
he's going to get involved in that match.
Absolutely. Even, possibly just sitting cross-legged on the commentary table.
Right.
Um and you've got Drew and Randy Orton and of course Gunther and Goldberg. But they're like I do think there's gonna be a fourth match announced. At least I hope so.
Right.
Because either that means like what this is going to be on network television. Let's get real here. This is going to be on network television. Do you
Mhm.
pull off a shocking angle in that main event? Do you pull off a return of Brock Lesnar? Do you pull off something like a cash in for that matter? Do you pull off something big in that main event angle on network television? Or would you want to save that for SummerSlam in 3 weeks? And my answer is I want to see it, but I don't think there's a chance in hell of that happening.
We've had this will be the fourth Saturday Night main event since they've brought it back basically.
Right.
And 2024, the main event was Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens for the undisputed title. Gunther versus Jey Uso for the world title in January 2025. May 2025, we got Jey Uso versus Logan Paul, and now we're finna get Goldberg versus Gunther. What would you rank the main events so far? Like, what is number one to you so far?
Out of those,
Yeah,
I gotta go gold. I gotta go Gunther Jey Uso, number one.
I understand. I get
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. And that's just primarily because I love both of those guys. And they put
I do
on a
too.
really good match. Yeah.
I do too. I I would say Cody versus Kevin Owens number one only because of the work that Kevin Owens had been doing. I mean, like
Oh,
the whole
absolutely.
beating up
Yeah.
Cody, the whole taking the title and walking the old Eagle belt and walking around calling himself the true champion.
Just like classic heel heat.
Just classic heel heat, classic Kevin Owens shenanigans. Just classic, like unhinged Kevin Owens.
Which is the best Kevin Owens, by the way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And obviously Jay and Gunther is number two. And then like to sit here and rank Jay versus Logan, Goldberg versus Gunther, and who would you rather put over each other? And it's like only because the fact that his athleticism is making me do this. That I will put Logan Paul and Jay over Gunther versus Goldberg because we're getting a 58-year-old man. Like, no disrespect to him. Obviously, he's phenomenal. He's Bill Goldberg. He's the guy.
Right.
He's like probably can run through a brick wall, maybe.
Right.
But like 20 years ago, I could believe he ran through a brick wall and nothing happens to his body. I feel like he could trip on a Power Ranger toy and everything in his body would break. This man has been working out, and they say he's, suffered several injuries
Just in training for this thing.
just in training to get ready for Gunther. And to sit here and tell me that it's going to be anything more than a two-star match, I would call you crazy.
Train
Because,
train wreck is the word you're looking for.
oh, absolutely. Like, you are asking me to pay money to come to your event to watch Gunther fight Goldberg as the main event over Randy Orton and Drew, over C excuse me, not CM Punk, but LA Knight over Seth, over, I'm sure we're getting Sammy versus somebody.
Yep,
I don't know who, or something of that matter. I'm sure the Intercontinental title will probably be on the line at Saturday Night Main Event with
maybe.
AJ Styles and Dominic Mysterio. Like AJ freaking Styles. And you
I
want me to
mean,
put,
if Dominic can go, he's hurt.
yeah, if Dominic can go, obviously, but
Right.
like you put AJ Styles with a piece of paper and it's gonna be phenomenal. So
Absolutely.
and you're
What
telling me,
kind of, I mean, how old is AJ? Like 46, 47, and he still can go.
came back bigger than ever. Like he came back bigger than what he was when he was out.
Yeah.
So like this man probably can go for another 10 years, but I know he's probably got maybe 1 or 2 years left in him, which is understandable
Yeah.
from what he does. But I can't get it. I'm not even excited about Saturday
I'm
night
not
main
either.
event. I'm not even
I'm
on the aspect of where, the previous Saturday nights we've talked about it. It was like, got some good quality matches I'm looking for. I'm not really looking for it. It's like it's just something to put on TV
all
to
right.
watch.
All right. So let's totally fantasy book this.
Okay.
Um, let's go Bill Goldberg in his prime. Say,
Okay.
35, you know, 35. Gunther, around the same age right now. What is he? 36, 37, something like that?
How about Walt?
Oh, Walter, yeah. Big Daddy Walter.
Yeah.
Um, but my point is that Goldberg in his prime, Gunther, Walter in his prime, that's a hell of a match.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But Goldberg in his prime, this was 1998. This is 2025.
Even Goldberg, what, 10 years ago was it train wreck?
Ricky Steamboat, Shawn Michaels in their prime could not pull a good match out of Bill Goldberg today. I'm sorry.
Just
And though Rick Rude couldn't pull a good match out of Bill Goldberg today.
20 years ago I would have been excited, but
Absolutely.
10 years ago I wasn't even excited. And then to have him in a match with Undertaker and he like to kill the Undertaker.
Drop the man
It
on his head, off the top of his head.
it tarnished. I mean, I know Gunther was talking about he finna tarnish the legacy of Bill Goldberg, but brother, you too late for that. It's already been you kind of 10 years too late.
What did they do with the booking of that match? Did they
Brock Lesnar got to come out
did
there.
they dare have Gunther go over in that match? If they do, I will throw something super heavy at my TV.
If Goldberg comes to the absolute point of he looking like he's going to win that belt, I am going to crash out.
Hard.
I need that belt to stay on Gunther. I need them to continue on whatever they're doing with Seth Rollins, whatever he's doing. Is he going to cash in on Gunther? Is he going? I mean, because obviously that belt is not leaving Gunther because of the interaction we saw on Monday night between Gunther and CM Punk, and Seth Rollins is in the crowd looking at what's going on. Gunther grabbed CM Punk, and CM Punk pushed him on his butt. I was about to,
No, he totally.
but yeah, pushed him on his butt. And Gunther had this look on his face, like, but that's the type of, I think, That's the type of energy, that's the type of fight, that's the type of grit Gunther wants. Obviously, no disrespect to Jay, but he was overlooking Jay and looking for something like, Seth Rollins, CM Punk, John Cena's of the world, Cody.
Hmm.
He wanted that type of competition because they're all future Hall of Famers.
Right.
Obviously, Jay is a future Hall of Famer too, but only in the aspect of tag team.
Exactly. I mean, you know how I think this is going to go. I think if like I think if you have a stare down after that match between Gunther and Plan B, Brock Lesnar, that is gold.
Yeah,
And I've been hearing a lot of rumblings about Brock too.
I really wish we had like I don't know. It's so, it's crazy. It's more muggy and messy with the world title picture than it is the undisputed title. And like, and I mean, recently, 5 years ago, maybe three, maybe even four, it was just solely the undisputed title. Like, yes, Seth had a world title, and he had his matches here and there, but like the main focus was on the undisputed title, and not necessarily saying that it's not on John Cena, because it is. I mean, he's the GOAT. Obviously, we want to know who's going to beat him for the title, but it's like a layup. Like we know Cody's going to probably be the guy that dethrones John Cena. With that being said, though, and not the, I mean, we can move on from Saturday Night Main Event. I mean,
Right, right. I've got another topic I've got in mind, but yeah, let's go on.
but moving on, do you pull the trigger on Cody turning heel at SummerSlam, or is that too soon?
I don't think it's too soon, but I also don't know if you really go all the way yet because we've been seeing like you've got to build something like that. Now, to be fair, most most fans, most wrestling fans in their 30s and 40s have been wanting John Cena to turn heel for 15 years. And he finally pulled the trigger on that in his retirement tour. Cody Rhodes is still the hottest baby face, supposedly the hottest baby face in the company. I think you got to build that one up a little bit. I think you got to build that one up a little bit. And if we could circle back to our friend Mr. Johnson, I think that, like, if they're smart, that was the start of this whole kind of thing. That was the start of this whole kind of thing because you can't let that just kind of sit there and never get answered, almost like the briefcase that John Travolta opened in Pulp Fiction that just shined on him. You can't let that be a total MacGuffin because, you know, Vince McMahon may have thought wrestling fans had like super like memories like a goldfish, but we don't.
No, and we
We
have
don't.
social media.
Exactly. Modern wrestling fans, we're on social media. We remember this kind of stuff. Like we were talking about a show that happened 7 years ago with this with this evolution the original evolution show.
Yeah, and to piggyback off of that, I okay. Let me ask you this: Cody is one of the biggest, like hottest baby faces,
Mhm.
but could you say Jay Uso hasn't taken that spot in a sense. Because before Jay hit the yeet
Right.
aspect of it all, Cody was the guy. Cody was the guy. Like, finish the story. You know, we want you to get the title.
Whoa. Yeah.
Whoa, whoa.
Right.
But now that whoa has turned into yeet.
Hmm.
Like, Cody interest ain't as big to me, ain't as big as the yeet. Cause I'm talking about, like, as soon as Jay's music hit, everybody's on their feet. All the kids are excited. I mean, yes, the kids are excited when Cody comes out. They want to shake his hand. He shake the hand, sign this, give him the belt, or whatever the case may be. But it's a different type of vibe. It's a different type of energy when Jay comes out and he coming through the crowd and he's doing that. And then on top of that, not only is this man coming out and doing that, he's in the ring, and then he goes back for another 5 to 10 minutes to do that. Like, I mean. I don't think we ever seen anything like this. Like, we seen a lot of wrestlers come out, everybody's like, whoa. But like, the man comes out, he's already exhausted from just coming out.
Hmm.
Then to turn around,
Usually through the crowd too.
usually through the crowd, yes, and turn around, get in the ring. All right, let's get this match going. Oh, no, 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 no. Rerun that back. And then they do it again. So this man is already gassed before the match even starts.
Yeah. No wonder McAfee has been around, been away for so long. He's had to
Exactly.
recharge.
That brother had to get on the table every time Jay comes out there. I mean, I'm pretty
Exactly.
sure that's exhausted. So,
Exactly. No.
but yeah, I mean, Cody is one of the biggest, hottest babyface. He's on, Minute Maid, like, cartridges, and he's everywhere. But Jay is too.
Absolutely he is.
Yeah.
Absolutely he is. I mean, you bring up a really good point because there's I think a lot to be said for just the crowd reaction that have started to kind of simmer a little bit for Cody. Because as we've said before, he's a much better chaser than he is a champion.
Good.
So was his old man.
Absolutely.
Um,
And I mean, you know better than me. Cody has been a very great heel in the indie scene.
absolutely has.
So,
And you know, I've said it before. I've said it several times on this show. When the man comes out on a regular Monday night in a $5,000 three-piece suit with the watch chain and the nice shoes and the perfectly coiffed hair every week, the line between him being the super baby face and just this nasty heel is
it's very
not
thin.
very thick.
It's very thin. And I'm telling you, I don't know if it's anybody else, but remember I had that discussion with you about that promo they had. Jay came out, Randy came out,
Mm-hmm.
Sammy came out. Cody never got a word in.
Never said a word.
And he's supposed to be the biggest babyface, which he was the biggest babyface before Jay became the biggest babyface.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Jay came out first after Cody and got his words in for anybody else. So that was a telltale sign for me.
It was.
And then the fact that Cody said that this offer that The Rock has on the table for him, it ain't even gone. It's still there. And then there's been signs of Cody, not necessarily being a heel, but doing whatever it takes to get the job done.
Yeah.
And John has picked that mirror up and turned that mirror and faced it to Cody and it's like, you are trying to be me. And look what happened to me. It took 20 years for me to get to this. So what makes you think that you don't do it a little sooner?
Do you think that John Cena's last match has a babyface John Cena because he's going to turn back. You know he is.
Yeah,
A
absolutely.
babyface John Cena against a heel Cody Rhodes with dark hair.
I like the sound of that.
Yeah.
It makes more sense because in a typical traditional retirement match, the person getting retired normally loses that match,
Yep.
and it's like a passing of the torch.
Bingo.
So everything that had been said between Cody and Cena, you've ridden with me, you've carried my luggage, you've done this, you've done that, you've learned the ins and outs of everything that I've done for all these years. And I'm glad you pointed that out about his suits, right? You know, John Cena just came out with the same thing over and over for 20 something years, just different colors, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what is he wearing when he do interviews outside of being in WWE?
Fancy suits, designer
Fancy,
suits.
fancy tailor suits,
Yeah.
just very professional.
Armani. Yeah.
Cody,
Yeah.
Armani, yes. Cody, he does the same thing. He's wearing suits, but he's wearing suits in the ring. He's wearing them at the events. He's wearing them constantly everywhere he goes. And obviously, you pointed this out before. We've said in the group text, "Oh, Cody's finna fight," because normally when he comes out with the track suit on or whatever, he's finna fight. And when he
It
ain't got
was,
that little key watch or whatever in his
huh?
pocket, oh yeah, he's fighting.
Yeah, no. Yeah, whenever Cody comes out in the tracksuit and
Sleeveless,
the sleeveless hoodie, you know he's about to fight.
yeah, he's about to fight. But Cody has this side of him that I don't think nobody has seen since. I mean, like, I don't think nobody's noticed what the feud with Kevin Owens. Remember? He was kind of like, cracking a little bit. His face, like CM Punk even pointed it out. He said, your shoulders look kind of heavy. You're looking you're weary, like you're breaking down. Like the weight of that title is like really weighing on you. Like, let me take it off you or whatever. Let me be the friend that is going to stab you in the front versus getting stabbed in the back. And like it's a lot of foreshadowing that we've seen recently about like Cody maybe pulling that trigger on being healed because, you know, I love this great quote from I believe the Dark Knight. Was it the Dark Knight? Yes, this number two, Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight.
Right.
You either live long enough to become the villain or you die being the hero. Cody died at WrestleMania being the hero.
Yes.
He had a chance to take out John Cena with the belt. The ref was knocked down. John Cena didn't take any second thought of kicking him in the nuts and winning that belt. I believe recently what we seen Cody in that same no, no, no. Did we see him in that same situation? He still didn't pull the trigger, or I may be mistaken, but either way it goes, John Cena showed him the blueprint. And Cody even said, he said, if I ever get put in that situation again, I'm taking him out. That's not a babyface
No,
talking.
no, that absolutely is not. And I think that when they do pull the trigger on heel Cody Rhodes, that's gonna be money. That's gonna
And
be
I mean,
that's gonna be absolutely money.
100% babyface. Sami Zayn. I mean, like at the countless over and over of getting Sammy to turn and turn and turn, he don't. He said, "I'm doing it my way. I'm do this, do that." That's a babyface.
Yes, it is. Yes, it
So
yeah. All right.
I mean,
Well,
you know,
yeah,
I,
well,
I I hear all these talks about Cody. He ain't gonna turn. He ain't gonna turn. Oh, hey man,
no, he's turning. He's
he's turning.
turning.
He's
It's not a
finally
matter
finna give
of
us
if,
that.
but when.
And what I tell you when we talk about it, Homelander the same way. Homelander is this, pompous, like arrogant. Uh, he thinks everything he does is right. when everything else is like, from my eyes, it's terrible. Like you ain't supposed to heat vision somebody to a crispy poke. You ain't supposed to punch a hole through somebody's chest. Yeah, he was, yeah, murdering people or whatever. But like, as you see, I got my Superman shirt on. July 11th is when Superman come out. But Superman don't kill anybody. He basically does right. Joker can be blowing up Metropolis or whatever, and like long as Lois is not harmed in it, he's going to stop Joker, put him in jail, whatever the case may be. But you know, let's paint a little picture, right? Lois is the title, okay? Lois just got taken away from you by John Cena. You don't think that Cody's going to do whatever it takes to get that title back? He
I
ain't
definitely
going.
would.
Yeah, tell him, man, it's we'll get more answers answered as we see these promos being taken between both of them.
Yeah, we're definitely going to get. I think we're going to get a lot more answers after Saturday night's main event.
And I'll tell you another thing. If we don't get no answer about this angry father look that John Cena be giving every time he hugs somebody, like it's twice, okay? I need by the third time he does this, we need some explanation. We need like the Wyatt six or like a Bray Wyatt explanation because I feel like this has been discussed in the internet. I think that the Firefly Funhouse match did something to John.
I'm sorry that kind of popped me a little bit. The angry father. I'm
Like
so
you didn't clean the dishes.
disappointed in
Like
you. Yeah. Look, yeah, but to your point, I think it may have snapped a little something in him because but if you think about it, a lot of the things in that Firefly Funhouse match that he had with Bray Wyatt have started to may not look exactly the same, but they're starting to come true.
it is. It is. And I
Yeah.
mean, it's crazy to even sit here and think about like the interaction between him and Bray and like all of that coming to fruition in the Firefly Funhouse, and then John just totally disappearing. And he comes back whenever he came back, but like you don't explain that. So
Yeah. Yeah, just a quick before we move on to last thing.
right.
Um, Speaking of the suits, like John Cena wearing a three-piece suit at Wimbledon with his wife.
Most people wear a t-shirt and some jeans or something,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
something comfortable.
I mean, granted, if you're sitting in the Royal Box, you got to dress up, but still.
Oh yeah, and granted, if you got the money, by all means, yes.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
it's just he and I get it because like John even said it in the interviews, the way he dresses is just a reminder of like the hard work he had to go through to get to where he was. I mean, the man
yeah.
was literally sleeping in the car
Right.
at one point, and then he even said in another interview, like just to, he was making $50 a week, so he would go to a pizza place and like get a slice of pizza or whatever, and they had a contest where you had to eat the entire pizza within a few minutes or whatever, and the dude was like, I mean, you've been in here a lot. You just want to, you just want a free pizza, like, bro, you ain't got to
Yeah,
come here
yeah,
and do this
yeah,
contest every
yeah,
week.
bro. We can hook you up.
Yeah, you ain't got to come here every day and do this contest just because you're hungry. We get it. So,
Yeah, yeah. Well, it should be super compelling, I think. And
oh yeah, yeah, most definitely.
all right. So, um, last quick topic that I wanted to hit on before we wrap up here. It's something I just kind of thought of as we've been talking here. There's been a lot of talk online about the work that Corey Graves has been doing at the commentary table since Pat McAfee has been away for so long.
Right.
Obviously, when Pat McAfee goes back to College Game Day here in a couple of months,
Yeah.
it's obvious that Corey Graves is going to get that, is going to get that call.
Slot.
But do you think that in the meantime, you can fit Corey, Cole, and Pat at the commentary table for Monday Night Raw, because Corey's too good to be stuck on NXT every Tuesday night, and he always has been. This was before he kind of had that hissy fit a few months ago.
Yes and no, in a sense, because all right, let me ask you this. All right, you play this out. What is your commentary team in your mind? Like, who do you think will work best with each other?
And we're talking for Monday Night Raw here.
Yeah, we're talking for Monday
You're
night.
talking.
Okay, Monday night and then Friday.
All right, so I think Joe Tess and Wade Barrett, I think they're gold. Joe Tess, the wrestling announcer, has grown on me a little bit. I can't lie.
Yeah.
Like I knew, like being such a fan of his from college football and like how excitable he was, I figured he'd be a perfect fit for it. But he did take a while to grow on me in that role.
Yeah.
So far as Monday night goes, that's a tricky question because Cole and Graves have been money. Graves has kind of got that Bobby the Brain Heenan thing about him, is that he's just kind of this a-hole heel. You know what I mean?
Right.
But then Pat McAfee, and if you had asked me back in 2019 what I thought of Pat McAfee, I probably would have gotten this podcast an NC-17 rating because I hated the guy. But he's grown on me.
Yeah. He's come a long way. I mean, I've
Yeah,
always liked Pat from his football days,
right.
and like, he's had that personality that I've known about, but I didn't quite know how it would fit in WWE. But as it grown, and what's crazy? It's kind of like Pat has gave Michael Cole a second gear.
Yes. Yes.
He's brought a lot of personality. I mean, like Michael Cole has had personality, but it's a different type of personality when he's with Pat. It's more of a laid back Saturday night, drinks with the guys type. Lay your hair, lay your hair down and just like unwind, just be yourself. Like Michael Cole has always been that professional, like through and through. But
Yeah,
it's more
kind of
of
that
I'm
straight
seeing,
lace thing.
yeah, straight laced thing. Now it's like he's kind of come out the tie t-shirt isk. I mean, at one point he was wearing I mean, like they had a bet for the NBA Finals, and Michael Cole had an NBA jersey on. Like I like this. I like this Michael Cole when
I
Pat
do.
is
Yeah,
around.
I do too.
And
And sorry to cut you off, but
yeah.
with him not having to listen to Vince McMahon screaming him for 3 hours every
Oh
Monday
yeah,
night,
yeah, yeah.
but kind of the energy that they have, and there's definitely there's like I mean, they're super like super tight, like really tight
Oh
friends,
yeah.
off camera, and it shows on camera too.
It definitely reminds me of like if our group, in the wrestling group, we was like commentating a match.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, but no disrespect to Corey Graves. I mean, I've liked Corey Graves for a while with him and Booker and I think Vince. Uh, was it
Vic Joseph.
Big Joseph? Yeah. And now, being so used to Pat, like if Pat leaves, who's to say? I feel like Booker should be moved up, like because Booker gives that kind of like Pat, sort of,
Right.
but for a good, I guess, growing up, we've always had the JR and the Jerry the King Lawler.
Right.
And it's always been that. Like for me, it's always been that type of okay, you got one guy that's like just strictly commentary, like Michael Cole. And then you got the athlete, Pat, Booker T, Wade Barrett, like the one that's actually been in the ring. And not saying that Corey hasn't been. I mean, obviously he has, but
Yeah.
more seasoned in the ring.
Interesting angle. Interesting
Yeah.
angle. Um, if Booker was open to traveling every week, I think that's kind of holding him back because he doesn't want to
Yes.
travel every week.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Um, that's an easy call.
Yeah.
When McAfee goes back to college game day. But um there's kind of a in to your point of the great wrestling commentary teams, JR and the King, Gorilla and Bobby the Brain Heenan. It's like you've always got the one the straight lace guy, and then you've got the kind of the outrageous kind of guy.
Because I mean, even Wade, not to cut
Yeah,
you off, even Wade has been like kind of like ooh and ah with Jay come out. Like Jeremy, you have pointed out numerous times, hey man, Wade, you might want to chill out. You Google and Gaga and drooling all over Jade. So, and I mean, not to say Corey don't do it, but
get the man a bottle of
Corey,
water. Yeah.
yeah, Corey definitely like he gives his flowers to the women and stuff, but it's not the same as like Wade and
I
like
mean,
Pat.
and obviously we know who Corey's married to as well.
Yeah, we always know who he was
Right.
married to, and like that book, boy. If we could just get like one Booker T reaction to Stephanie one more time, because
Just
he,
one more time.
golly, boy.
One more time. But kind of getting back to your point is that the great commentary teams in WWE history have been famous for having great chemistry off screen.
Yes.
Like Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby the Brain Heenan were like brothers. They bickered all the time on the air, but they were like brothers, like deep love there. Probably spilled, empty tons of bottles together.
Yeah.
I get the same, JR and the King,
Yeah.
probably
Oh,
closed
they
mini
bigger. Like
bars together.
they did more Becker and on the show than they did the Green. Like, they whenever came Stone Cold, you knew JR was Stone Cold's close best friend, and
Mhm.
Jerry was about to get on that. He was like, "Hey man, you need to go in there and get your best friend." I was like, "Hey, they was good. They would cuss at each other, whatever."
Puppies, puppies.
And oh my god, yeah. And no disrespect to Corey. Like if he is the replacement for Pat while he's doing college game day, that is a perfect fit because we're used to Corey. Corey has shown that he's kind of gotten, I guess that the motion you may say kind of helped him regain his love again for commentary,
Hmm.
and it shows. Um, feel like they're gonna pause. I feel like they're gonna stretch Corey out more because he did a great job with the AAA.
I was gonna say, yeah, no, and he was the lead commentator
He
on
was the
that.
lead
He was
commentator. Yeah, he
really, yeah.
carried that team. And I can see him doing that more, I guess, whenever I don't know what they're doing with AAA, to be honest, but like I can see him pulling double duties like they did Cole. So I don't want the man to get burnt out or whatever, but
Right.
I mean they'll probably do some switcheroo when Pat go on vacation. I mean, excuse me, not vacation, sorry. When he goes on the a leave of absence.
Right. Right.
So
One last point on that before we wrap up. Um, I've heard Cole himself say that Corey Graves is the next in line because Cole, you know, you know,
oh, we love
Cole,
the man to death, but I'm
Cole's
sure he's
Cole's not a
getting
young man. Cole's
Yeah,
not
he's
a
getting close
man.
to. He's been commentating for like what 25 years,
27 or 28, I think.
27, 20. Yeah, so
Yeah.
he's definitely the heir apparent to Michael Cole. So
Yeah, no, Michael Cole, yeah, born in 1966. So he turns 60 in next December.
yeah, gee whiz.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even want to imagine that day when he calls it quits because I mean that's another shot in the heart for
Yeah.
us as wrestling fans growing up in
No,
the 90s and whatnot. But
exactly. Exactly.
I yeah, he's the Corey Graves is definitely the heir apparent to Michael Cole whenever Michael Cole wants to ride off in the sunset there.
Kind of like how Michael Cole was the heir apparent to JR.
JR, yep. Yep.
Well, one thing I hope before Michael Cole hangs it up, unblock me on Twitter, please.
And that's
I will never let that go.
please, sir. Like I don't know. I get why y'all probably do, but like we don't I mean, we don't do anything wrong.
Right.
We give our takes or whatever, but we all respect everything everybody does in WWE.
Right.
So I mean, ain't no telling. He might be blocked. I don't know, but
Yeah.
you
I,
know,
I mean, to be clear, our truth also blocked me as well. And I still haven't figured that one out.
well, he's not our truth anymore. He's Ryan Killing. So maybe not blocked right now.
Maybe so.
But don't say nothing about his album. He might block you there. So
Well, that's not my thing anyway. It's, well, another fun episode. I think got a lot to talk about next Monday.
oh yeah, I cannot wait. I hope I really want to just get past Saturday and just get to Sunday. To be honest.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean, we gotta get through Saturday, and it's something to watch. So,
exactly. Exactly. Well, another fun episode. You want to do it again next week?
oh yes,
All right. So you've been listening to the Wrestling Roundtable and watching the Wrestling Roundtable podcast, a presentation of Royal Hearts Media. You can follow us on YouTube, Apple Podcast, Spotify. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. We're around. Come find us. And yeah. Any last words?
um, ready for Bianca to get back. Uh, very excited for this weekend, minus the Saturday night main event. Not the entire show, just the main event.
Yep, yep.
Um, are you looking forward to the home run derby?
Um, yeah, I am.
I,
Yeah.
I don't know who's in it, but I definitely would check it out. I mean, it's always a spectacle to
I
watch a
mean,
home
I
run
know my
derby.
guy Ronald Acuna's in it, and he's
Oh yeah,
and he's at home. So
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So that should be good. And I'm really excited about this evolution match. To be honest,
I am too. I think that's definitely going to be the jewel of that of that weekend, I believe.
and I hope it's a year to year thing, not 7 years ago or every so
Yeah,
often
wait,
they do this.
let's not have it again in 2030. Let's have it again in 2026. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And use it as a showcase to show off the up and coming women that are getting heat and growing their name. So
Absolutely.
and hopefully Paige will make a appearance um Sunday night.
Yeah. Well,
Fingers crossed.
she's being cagey about it. But anyway, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Till we eat again. I'm Ryan. He's Dom. You've been listening to the Wrestling Roundtable podcast. Take care.